Podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Yo, what's up? Hello. It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you with another episode, people, of what it is, the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. All right, we good, people. We were having a little technical difficulties with my sister-in-law trying to get in. We was fixing some sound. She said she fixed it. But yeah, y'all have heard. Now, look, I'm going to put my sister-in-law and bring her on first because y'all have sat up here. Y'all have heard her, but y'all have not seen her. So, boom, here she is. What it do, girl?
Hey. What's up? How are you?
There it is. I am good. And
Good.
you know, today is a good episode because I was rapping with my boy Monix. You know, man, I was telling you, Shakira, I've been networking with a lot of different people lately. And I'm grateful that you know, I met Monix through my cousin and everything, and we're gonna get some stuff jumping ourselves. And I'm gonna bring my man on. Some of y'all might know who this man is. We're gonna call him the man, the myth, the legend, Monix.
Oh man.
What's good, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm well as can be expected. I think she's a celebrity. Wait a minute. Don't you have a podcast?
I do. Yes.
Nonprofits.
Yes. Nonprofit Unplugged.
Yep. I definitely listened to a couple episodes.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Look at that there.
My first celebrity exposure. I love it.
Actually, Ron put me on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. See? That's what's up.
Yeah, because I started a nonprofit. He was like, "You need to listen to her, man." You know, he's all excited about it. I'm like, "Okay." Yeah.
Oh, see, there it is. The circle continues. It's just a never-ending thing out here with this networking.
Yeah.
But look here, people.
Yeah.
The reason why we're here today is, as the title reads, it's a mental health check-in day, yo. What I want people to do is, I want people to check in on how they feeling. So, what I want us to do is, okay, y'all know how I go. Look, well, Monix, you don't know how I go, but Shakira know how I go. I run for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? I feel that my audience and my viewers do not have a long attention span. So we give them 30 minutes. We give them something to think about. We drop some jewels and some gems, you know, for our viewing pleasure and listening pleasure today for the audience. What we might do is we might run to about 45 minutes just because, you know, because I normally don't have two other people on with me. It's usually just another person. So just so we could get everybody in and all the thoughts in, we might run a little over. But yeah, we're going to start off. We'll start off with you, man. How you feeling, man? Let the people know how you feeling. How are you doing in terms of your mental health to start off the week?
Well, you know, man, it's mostly I'm good. If I had to rate it from on a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, I'm gonna say 6.5.
Okay, why that?
6.5. I got a but. Well, not that I'm qualified to diagnose it, but
you know, it's cool.
I'd imagine this because I have a ton of moving parts.
And
I'm trying to see where I need to prioritize / minimize / maybe even cut some stuff out. You know what I mean? And it's all stuff I love, so it's like it's different. And you know, then you know, I got a couple of health issues, so it's like that'll get in my head sometimes, and in the mix of all of that. So, but you know, I'm about a 6.5. I'll say strong 6.5.
Okay, I feel you.
Because mostly it's all good stuff, and my health issues almost a blessing in disguise.
Okay,
in a sense, because if you know, I had to retire from the Navy earlier because of that, and so I don't have to work a 9 to 5, and it gives me a lot of room to do the other things that I want to do.
Okay, got you. And real quick, because I gave a horrible introduction at the beginning of this, people. I gave a horrible introduction at the beginning of this. Let the people know what you do, because you said, you know, you got your hand in a lot of different stuff. So give the people an idea of what it is that you do. You know what I mean?
Ultimately, I'm a audio guy. I'm an audio engineer / radio personality. Really radio personality at the root of it, because that's what got me interested in all things audio. So I have a radio show that I founded, Shop Talk 7. So we do that Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Now I'm not on there Tuesdays anymore because I am on 102.3 Rejoice from 8 to 8:30 on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And then Sunday nights from 9 to 11, I'm on Soul 106.3 on a show called The Ownership Club. And on 102.3, the show's called Aspire.
Y'all better tap in. Now, y'all heard my man say where he at. Y'all know where he is. So now y'all know where to find him, okay?
Yeah.
So definitely, man. Hey, that's good, man.
Managing artists, it's a whole lot. A whole lot.
Managing artists too. He doing a lot of stuff, man. And see, this is why I want to kind of have this day to like for people just to kind of tap in. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, I'm gonna bring up some of the stuff I got going on too. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I got to turn people away. Had a whole talk with my wife today. When you gonna start focusing on what you're doing? But I'm kind of focusing on what I'm doing, but I'm just, I just got my hand in a lot of different mixtures. You know what I mean? So I really have to look at what mixtures really matter to me. So I'm gonna dial back and I'm gonna ask you the same question, Kira. How's your mental health to start off the week? How you feeling?
I say this week it's like at an 8. The last 2 weeks has been like, between 4.5 and 6.5. It just kind of depends on how I was feeling. And it wasn't anything that was bad, more or less that I was getting in my own head and getting in my own way and overthinking everything and all the stuff. So that's why. And I was perceiving things very differently, right? Like someone would say something to me and I would, they're trying to be helpful. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't want to see me succeed. And it's like, no one said that. Like, you just internalize that because the truth hurts and you don't want to hear the truth. So you know how that goes, right?
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
So this week, it's about an 8. It's about an 8. And I have a lot on my plate, but it's like a good, healthy amount. You know what I mean? Like trying to make room, being a pastor's wife. So trying to make room for ministry stuff. And then on the flip side, still run all my businesses. Right? And stay, up on top of everything. So I'm happy to have a team that I'm establishing that are like excited and sincere about helping us all get to the next level.
Okay.
So that makes a difference.
Okay. And see, Monis, this is the sister-in-law I was telling you about. Remember I told you I got a twin brother, right? So yeah, this is the one who's married to the pastor. There you go. Yeah. So see,
pastor's wife.
Yeah, pastor's wife. So it's a little bit different dynamic with all that, sir. You know what I mean? and you know what? Let's briefly talk about that dynamic of do you feel that sometimes you have to live up to a certain standard because you have that title with you, but then you are who you are too. You know what I mean? Do you feel sometimes you can't be you because of that hovering over your head sometimes?
Not at all.
Okay.
Now here's why though.
Yeah.
I understand why that happens for a lot of women in my position. I spent a lot of that energy when he was just an associate minister because of the churches that we were at, because of the people there. They had that expectation and they were like, oh, well, he doesn't have a church yet and I need to groom you. Let's get you groomed, prepared for the ministry sake kind of deal. Right. And I'm like, no, I don't need to be groomed. Man and woman of God. No. Because essentially you just want me to just put up and shut up. And I'm not that person. Like that's not my energy kind of deal. And so I love where we are. I love the people. I love the church because they love me for me. They love my child for her. They love my husband for him, right? Like, despite everything, they understand that we are all human, right? And that we all make mistakes, but they're not holding us to the cross. You know what I mean? Like they're not nailing us to the cross every single time we, oh my God, he showed up in jeans. Oh my God, she, has a wig on, people just find anything religious to just nitpick at. And so although I don't feel that pressure, I also don't accept that pressure. Like I don't take on that level of, what's the word? I just don't carry that Does that make
Okay.
sense? Like,
Yeah.
because I can back that thing up. You know what I mean? I can support my reasoning as to why I made
This is a family show, Shakira.
what?
You talking about backing that thing up? This is a family show. I'm just messing.
Oh, you know, not like that. You know, just, I can support my claim. Right? I can support my claim. There you go. That's
Nah, I feel you.
I got
You
to
know
back
what I
that thing up.
hey. So yeah, that's the difference. And I'm kind of
Mhm.
glad that this first experience is the way it is. And
That's what's
I'm
up.
not saying I'm not grateful for the other,
Yeah.
you know, hell on high water I had to go through, but
Mhm.
it makes me appreciate where I am because I can be free. I can flow and, you know, and I can have that level of support without
that's
being
what's up.
compared to every other
Bro.
wife.
How you
know
how
what
you
I mean?
feel about that, Monix? How you feel about that? I know me and you have talked a little bit about, you know, that this dynamic before, you know what I mean? So how do you feel about all that? What she said?
Well, I ran away from titles in the church because I didn't want to be in that microscope. Because I kind of knew that I was about to go on this certain journey.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I knew that at 30, when I was 30 years old,
Mhm.
and I was about to get married and had a baby on the way. I got to know the clergy,
Okay.
and that low key. Now I've forgiven myself for thinking ill of them during that process.
Okay.
But it messed with me when I met the clergy. Like when I really got to know the clergy.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, y'all a little too human for me. Where's your angel wings? You know, I was dealing with that.
Okay. You got the real side of it.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, like I know these guys' vices. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Now I've come to appreciate the clergy with vices.
Mhm.
I don't even want you talking to me if you, as a pastor, if you haven't had some vices. You know what I mean? I ain't go front. Like I was
that part.
you know, I had a pastor tell me about cheating on my wife at the time. I didn't cheat on her, but that's kind of the conversation where it was going. I was like, have you ever cheated on your wife? And he said, no, never. And I'm like, well, how you gonna talk to me, bro, about that? You know what I mean? I'm just
facts. I agree.
I'm just saying that I'm not saying the pastor should cheat on his wife. Nobody should, right? Or your spouse. But it's like you don't know what it's like to have taken that plunge.
Exactly.
So we can't really have the same conversation. And the only reason I had brought that up was because he was kind of talking to me like at me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we sorted that out. But I started going through those things, and then I started, you know, what they tell you when you're young, don't read certain things because you might get the spirit, and you know you won't be able to handle it. And you know, perceive scripture the proper way. And so I went on that route. And then you know what? I would say for the first year, I was proving them right.
Okay.
For the first year.
Okay.
I got into this whole bandwagon of the Christians stole the Bible from the Egyptians. I got on that bandwagon.
Okay.
So what's interesting is I've always had a disdain for misrepresentation. And so a lot of the people I would talk to, they would misrepresent the Bible to talk crap about it. So I ended up back in the Bible after all of that. Because of that, I ended up having to defend it. I'm like, they would tell you, y'all just take it too literally, but then you would use something literal to talk crap to them. I'm like, bro, you misinterpreting the whole thing. The Bible got a verse in there about unicorns, right? What kind of fairy tale book is this with unicorns? Well, listen, man, if you look up the Hebrew word for the unicorn, it means beast.
Exactly.
So yeah, you know, that helped me a lot. I ain't gonna say it got me back in the church, but it helped. It gave me a lot of understanding, starting to think that way. You know what I mean? But titles, I'm scared of titles, and I applaud you, First Lady, because that's a lot.
No apologies, Tate. No.
I said I applaud you.
She applauded.
Oh, you applaud. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
because that's a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what, y'all?
I've seen some of that work.
And see, that's why I kind of want to shift the dynamic a little bit, because you know what I mean. When we start talking about mental health and these check-ins and everything like that, people need to understand. The viewers need to watch. And hey, shout out to the people watching. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all. I really do. Shout out to y'all watching. And the viewers really need to understand that different things help shape who we are and why we think the way we think, why we move the way we move. You know what I mean? Like you like, Minus, you saw me when we was out before, man. Your boy could get down. I can have fun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason why I kind of said before, like with it's certain aspects. Now I'm gonna be me when I'm around people. Now I'm gonna let people know that, but I'm gonna also let you know that I still know God. I still have my faith. I still have my foundation. You know what I mean? I have a foundation for a substance of peace, but I still know how to have fun. I still know how to move around. You know what I mean? And I kind of think at times people get caught up with that uptightness. You know what I mean? That now they don't see you as a human. They see you as this upright standing citizen, and you have to do everything on the straight and narrow, but you just can't relax.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
When you come from that angle, for a lot of us, the characters in the Bible were presented as almost perfect,
yeah.
Especially Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine that you can't really capture his life in a book. I'd imagine that you couldn't.
I would agree.
So I'd imagine Jesus had very, very, very human experiences.
Yes. And you know what? It a lot of times we don't want to take our mind to that part. You know what I mean? Because like you said, we're looking at the angelic part. We're looking at the way the Shakespearean writing is and all this other stuff, all the thou, this is hymns and all this other mess. But we don't want to take a look at the substance. Like, homie, what did I tell you before? It's about the principle. You feel me? If you take the principle out of it, that's the
thing that lives on.
There it is. Yes, it is. You ain't lying.
Again, it's duality to everything. It's scriptural. It's Isaiah 45:7. What paraphrasing, the Lord thy God created all things, good and evil.
There it is.
What is pain without? What is pleasure without pain? What is Batman without the Joker? You've never seen it. If it's evil, if it's good, there, rainy days are not far behind. If it's rainy days, good days are not far behind. That's how it always goes. But giving birth is I imagine one of the most beautiful things ever. But it came through pain and discomfort for 9 months, and probably discomfort for another 18 years or so.
Ain't it? Yeah.
Dealing with children, but when the end product is great.
Exactly.
Greatness takes pain. Such is life. It's never been different since I've been born.
Facts, bro.
I'm 41 years old.
Facts. You always have to go through something in order to get to something. That's what my boy Greg say. Shout out to Double Living TV Live, my other podcast that I'll do Monday through Friday from 7 to 8. You know what I mean? We talk about a lot of stuff. We have different guests on there. We have some wisdom. We have times when we just talk like this. You know what I mean? But shout out to them, because that's what my boy always say. You always have to go through something to get to something. And when you put it in terms like that, life ain't perfect for nobody. You know what I mean? Now I get on here every week, and I'm always telling people to suck it up because it's just ish you gonna go through. You know what I mean? It's stuff you gonna go through. So why spend all this time complaining? Why spend all this time looking at your bad? You can focus on the good, but it's something about when you have that good at the forefront of your mind, it makes you just be able to get over that hump of the bad a little bit more. You know what I mean? I like to look at it as acceptance.
I get why though. I get why they look at it like that. We get caught. Most of us, we get thrown into the adult world, and we're caught in the same hamster wheel as everybody else.
Facts.
Gathering the same perspectives. A lot of us had to finance our first set of furniture, and for a lot of us, we don't recover from that until our mid-30s and start getting a good tax return. You know what I mean? I'll pay my bills up with this tax return. So we get caught in the shuffle, and it's hard to get out of. I'll tell you what. In the dating world, I have a girlfriend now.
Okay.
You met her. You met Ro.
Yeah.
Her and I talk about this all the time. I have gained a wealth of knowledge. You could probably ask me a question about a few different things, and I'll be able to give you a plan that could save your life if you follow it. Right?
Definitely.
But I don't have the patience to follow my own instructions.
Hey, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the result of me being in a hamster wheel all this time. I've built these unfavorable habits, and they're hard to overcome. I'm 40 now. I ain't saying I'm stuck. I'm in some ways I don't want to say stuck in my ways, but man, it's hard to get out that pit. It feels like quicksand sometimes, and I know better. I know better, so it's bothersome.
Okay.
And I try to tap into the energy from when I have overcome other things.
Okay.
Right? I used to be a runner, right? So you running a 5K or a half marathon,
Mhm.
it's sucky at first, but then you hit what they call, when you find your pacing, you hit what they call a runner's high,
Okay.
and now you just going, and it's pleasant for a while. So I've tried to tap into that. Like, if I can do that, I can do
Okay.
this, and it just doesn't always work that way.
Mm.
I wish it did, but it don't.
And that's true. Shakira, how you feel about that, girl? How you feel about it? Give me some perspective.
I agree. I mean, to be honest, there are things that how people say, like, you live and you learn, right? Like it's like, well, it should be the opposite. We should be learning so we can live, right? And we don't always do that, right? We don't always listen to.
I like that. Say that again for the people.
Oh, what? Instead of living and learning, we need to be learning.
You learn and you live.
Right, we learn and then we live, right? And it's almost like if you took the Bible and broke it down, that's really all it is. I mean, God didn't make it hard for us to live life. We made it hard by not following the instructions, right? Or not, listening at all the time. Sense. And that's okay.
Yeah, right. And also on the humanistic level too, people we become judgy. You know what I mean? We want to force our own opinions down other people's throat. We want to sit up here and make people see what we see and do what we do. But we have to remember that everybody is different individually. We all play a part in this game called life, you know?
Right.
What's that Bible verse where it says something about boldly proclaim the word? Is that a Bible verse or just a church saying?
That is a Bible verse, sir.
So I've seen people use that in church to justify being overbearing.
I can see that.
You know how people just preach at you, and it's like, hold on, man, how you doing today? Did you see the game? Like, it's no, the word of God says, and it's like, all right, bro, I'll tell you what, the reason I'm in the church right now is because everybody wants to save me.
Ephesians
I don't need you to save me, blood. I just need you to be my brother. Yeah. I'm here for community. We're not going to agree on theology. We're not likely going to agree on theology. But I got work to do. I want to do it here.
Yeah.
And I want the community.
Definitely.
And we agree to disagree and eat this food. You know what I'm saying?
And there you go, man. But people. No, go ahead. I'm feeling it. Go ahead. Finish your statement.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I said that to say, the people who use that verse as a way to justify being overbearing. Now, outside of if you're going, I guess, secular, for lack of better terms, it's the same principle. People take what they believe in their perspective and use that as justification to lack understanding, because it makes them feel good if you're, not down, but if you look like you're in the wrong or don't make sense.
Exactly. Yep. I feel what you're saying. And what's that scripture verse, Shakira? You gonna say it early? What's that verse?
Ephesians, I think this is the right one. Ephesians 6, 19 through 20. And also for me, that words may be given to me in opening my mouth boldly to proclaim the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that I may declare it boldly as I ought to speak.
There you go. And that's what they do, dog.
They take the word boldly, like in your face type. You're wrong because I'm right, because I'm a Christian and Jesus died for my sins. And half of the people who say that don't even know scripture. They know how to say it. They can regurgitate.
Very true.
They don't have any context. They've never heard of the words homiletics and hermeneutics. They've never heard of a lexicon. They've never tapped into the Hebrew.
Exactly.
They've never tapped into the history of Hebrews.
Exactly. A
lot of them are surface level. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man, we don't even have to do this. And because I'm an intellect, I have this responsibility, to whom much is given, much is required. So I try to be cool and not, because you're not going to out articulate me. That's how I see it anyway. But because I think that way, for me, there's a responsibility there to not abuse that.
Facts.
And it sucks sometimes because I just want to go in often. But
I hear you. Yeah, I used to be the same way, man. When you come up on something, you know what I mean? You get that information, you want to go ahead and let the world know. You want to share it, and you want to put it in different circles and different spaces with people, but everybody ain't ready to hear that. Everybody might not might not receive it. You know what I mean? Like I can receive it from
they
you,
may
man.
just not agree.
Yeah, and they may just not agree. Exactly. They may just not agree. You know, we don't even just in life, we don't what we have is where we stay in circles where people tend to agree with us all the time. We stay in those circles because it makes us feel comfortable. But see, I like to be in circles where I can be challenged. You know, Monix, I would love for you to tell me, hey, dog, I don't like what you're doing, fam. I don't think that's good. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're supposed to do. I know my sister-in-law give it to me quick because she has. You know what I mean? She has. You know what I mean? You know, and that was in like the beginning. We wasn't always at this state that we at now.
No,
you know what I mean?
weren't.
And me and my sister-in-law, we talk about that. We laugh about it now, but yo, in the beginning, it was a little something. It was a little something.
I was too bold.
She was very bold. She
bold and controlling it wasn't just him. I did it to everybody, right? Because it's like, I would get frustrated because God would show me things about people, and I'm like, oh, here's the solution, right? And then they kind of continue to be like, woe is me. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he is giving you the, so I just get frustrated, and I'm like, why won't people listen to me? And they don't do what I tell them to do. It ain't my job. It's just you say what you need to say, and let God do the rest. Like from there, he didn't ask you to plant the seed, water the seed, care for the land, all that other stuff. He just impart the seed, or at least hand it to him, and he can take care of the rest of the work. So I was definitely the bold one.
In Revelations, the Bible mentions the 144,000, right? I've not always, since I was 30 and I started really studying, I was taking that as a metaphor.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it's literal or not, I don't know personally, but I do take a lot of metaphors from the Bible, right? I always took that as a metaphor that the righteous is a remnant of people.
Yeah.
And it's a remnant. And what's a remnant? Well, I think it means a small portion, right? 144,000 is a very, very small portion of 8 billion. And so, but so in concept, it'll always be more than 144,000 or whatever. It'll always be a smaller group that gets it. To whom much is given, much is required. So their job morally is to herd the flock. The flock.
You got it.
A flock, that's sheep, right?
The sheep. Herd the sheep, herd the flock. Pretty much, they're the people. They're the ones. They're the leaders. They're the ones to guide.
Yeah, those are the leaders, and they're responsible for the welfare of the people.
Exactly.
The word God. All right. So I was once in a school of thought that taught that the black man was God, right? Not literal, like the person who snapped the universe into existence.
Yeah.
But just God. But they didn't even know what they were saying. They just were saying it, and it sounded great. The Nation of Islam came up with it. Maybe somebody before them, but it was needed at the time, right? Because they were getting hung. Black folks was getting hung. They needed a sense of empowerment.
Yeah.
So now, all right. So the verse they would use, Psalms 82:6. The Bible says that we gods. The Psalm 82:6 says, do you not know that we are gods? All right, brother, you got to read the rest of that verse, and then you got to look at but you shall die like men, right? So
exactly.
The word God there is little g, right? And that matters here because the little g God is the Hebrew word Elohim.
Exactly.
In any Afro-Shemitic language, which Hebrew is, Afro-Shemitic language, anything with an im or him, like Arabic alhim, is plural. So if you look up Elohim, it doesn't mean the Most High. It means magistrates, rulers, princes, the powerful people, right? God in the Bible had a national name.
Yeah.
Which, if you see L, capital O, capital R, capital D, that's Yahweh, or I don't know how they pronounce it, but that's the Most High. The Most High got a name, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D. Where was I going with that?
It's all right, brother.
I lose myself when I get to preaching. I'm sorry.
It's all right. But yo, look, real talk. I want to let the people know that, like, the reason why we are having this discussion is because this is a part of the mental health check-in. You know what I mean? And I didn't really have a specific avenue or route plan that we were going to go in. But when you start looking at these things, everything that we are talking about, once again, down to Bible, religious aspects, or anything that you believe in. What it does is it shapes who we are as people. So we have 3 people sitting right here. We are just normal, everyday people. You know what I mean? But we are all different, but we can all sit together and come together and talk about it. You know what I mean?
Come, let us reason together.
There you go. And I feel that a lot of people, you know, when we start looking at how we associate with other people, how we have our affiliations, how we do these mental health check-ins, how we do all of this stuff here, a lot of people, man, they just want to be exclusive, just be so close to themselves, right? A lot of times people want to say, I don't want no friends, man. they just shut the door. You know, I don't want to hear from nobody, man. And they shut the door and they do whatever. But this is something that I feel that needs to be done more of by people, you know, coming together, talking and sharing instances with how you feel, even if you agree or don't agree or disagree. You know what I mean? It's a reason why we need to have these conversations. Y'all feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
And I feel the reason is just so that we can come together and we can learn and we can share experiences and we can gain more knowledge. Because I'm telling you, since my man Monty's been talking, I guarantee you some of the people been watching right now and they didn't caught them something. I know they listen to Shakira. They caught something. I know they didn't heard me. They caught something. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm just grateful that y'all gracing the podcast right now. I am, because we are at 31 minutes, but guess what? We are still going on, and we got 4 people watching right now. We had about 6, 7, 8 people before, but we got people watching. So this means we got some good stuff we talking about, people. So let's keep the conversation going.
Man, look, I thought, you know, I'm so used to looking at my StreamYard. I was wondering why I ain't see the numbers. Because he said, I've never been on this end of the StreamYard.
Oh, see, yeah, that's how it was, man. It was wild because when I first started doing this, I was used to StreamYard because I was going it from my other people's. You know what I mean? So then when I got on here, I was like, all right, okay. So this is a different feel. Now I'm the one steering the show. Okay, this is different. All right, I like this. But yeah, man, I understand. I've been there. Definitely. Especially when you use other platforms too. Like, I don't know, man. I like StreamYard. So I'm gonna give a shout out to StreamYard right now because I'm on StreamYard and we're using it. And we just don't have your logo in because I pay for my version. So I can put my logo in the corner. I just need to let y'all know I pay for it. So I can put my logo in the corner, but we are using StreamYard. So big ups to StreamYard for having the platform for us. Now throw us some money.
Zoom, I'm learning about Zoom too.
Okay.
Zoom is pretty cool because, you know, I do the Wednesday night calls for Fleet DJs.
Okay.
Illinois Fleet DJs. And,
okay.
It's a pretty cool little situation. It's not as dynamic as StreamYard though.
Yeah, StreamYard got a little.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, StreamYard got more little intricacies about it. Ryan uses EV Mux. Now EV Mux is that's
yeah.
Hey,
I downloaded it. I didn't use it yet though.
I'm a simple man. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I like to set my camera up. I like to have whatever's behind me in front of me. I'm more about behind the scenes. So I want to make sure my stream look good. I want to make sure my sound look good. And I can have a simple setup. Now that's gonna change for 2024. We're trying to change the game a little bit. So we're gonna see. Well, I don't want to speak too much.
Probably gonna be the one engineering our thing. So
oh yeah. We'll see. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's good. I want to take a break from engineering all this stuff, man. Shoot, that's another thing that takes a toll on me at times when I go places. And but I tell you, man, I can sit up here, I can have my setup done in like 10 minutes or less because it's that I know what everything does. I know what's supposed to plug into. I have minimal setback. Even with the hardest thing with just setting this up today, pertaining to my mental health and how I was feeling, the hardest thing was Shakira's audio fault, and that wasn't even my fault. You know? So that's what I look at, man. I like to have everything smooth so then I can come on and then I can give the people what they want. You know what I mean? Because if I'm comfortable and I can give the people what they want, oh shoot, it'll be a good show all day. You know, all day.
So Shakira, if you don't mind, Jeff, if you don't mind, I ask her.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask about nonprofits, man. Listen. I started my nonprofit so I can have like a avenue to help, right?
Get this knowledge, people.
But boy, did I not know what I was doing. It's easy to get on there, and it's easy to get on there and fill out the paperwork. It's $50. It comes back the same day or the day after. But okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to get moving. But then I realized that I found out that if you donate it to me, you don't get a tax write-off at that point.
Right.
I think I'm right. So then I filled out for the 501c3.
Yeah.
Right. 1023 easy.
Okay.
Then after that, I got the letter 2-3 weeks later. I was all excited. Then I realized that I don't know if there's a cap on how much you can bring in.
No, there's no cap.
What it is I guess what it is that when you fill out the 1023 easy, it's if you project about 50,000.
Right. And that's just for like within that fiscal, like from the time you filed the application in the next 12 months, do you project that you're going to make or receive that amount of revenue, right?
So what happens if I get more?
Well, if you get if you get more like in that you don't expect, here's the thing. If you fill out the application and you don't even expect this large amount of money to come in, just fill out the application, do the easy, you're fine. Now you cross over to taxes. Once you file, so if you get more than what you were expecting, the tax bracket for the 990 is just different. So you got the 0 to 50,000 people, they do the no card. Then it's the 50,000 to I think 250,000 is going to be, same tax form, but now you have to show like your items itemizing, right?
Itemize, okay.
And, your profit loss basically. And then from there, 250,000 and up, you then it's the same form. They're going to ask you more questions on your taxes. That's really it. But there's no cap. I mean, there's a lot of nonprofits who make millions a month, sometimes the day, sometimes a year. There's no cap on how much you can make, but they have to
just different forms as you cross tax brackets.
Right. Okay. So they can kind of gauge in so many words. They can keep track of, okay, because what happens is when you do your taxes for the IRS, that information gets sent to funders, right? And grant makers. And they're like, okay, so of the US, we have about 28% who still fall in this bracket, the 0 to 50,000 or 0 to 250,000, right? Or 0 to 500,000. And they're eligible for grant funding, right? So now so that way when they do make the money or create the opportunity, they can say we're working with nonprofits who help marginalized people or whatever the case may be. So it's just kind of like a numbers game, but it is in so many words, it's a numbers game, right? But grant funding, you don't have to have grants, right?
Because I know the churches and schools have to do the regular 1023 form.
They have to do the regular 1023, and even in churches, they don't even have to do that because they're automatically exempt. And so a lot of churches, when they won't even allow you, because I tried to do applications for a few churches, they wouldn't even allow me to do the long form because they're already.
They wouldn't allow you to do the long form?
No.
Oh, so you did the 1023 easy for them?
No, I couldn't do the easy either. They didn't qualify. They're already exempt. The IRS is like any religious organization or affiliation. If you run as a church, as long as you meet these stipulations, which is like a small list, then you're automatically exempt. Now, what I told the church to do, so what churches do is they actually create philanthropic arms or endeavors and programs that can be funded. So that way they can, because here's the thing, with church, their version of a donation is going to be tithes and offerings every week, right? They have membership dues. Like if you serve on an auxiliary of some kind, right? Or if you're in a membership or some kind, the choir have to pay X amount for an assessment, right? Their membership dues. The men's, men's group got to pay X amount, right? And when they have their annual days, those are like membership dues and paid revenue. So the church by default is going to run essentially the way a nonprofit should. Okay. But if they want to be funded, like if the church wants to receive grant funding, then they have to establish programs, right? Because that's the only way they're going to get any external funds outside of, their weekly, gift giving, if you will, right? That they get from their members or guests. So,
all right, real quick, I'm gonna interject. I'm gonna say, hey, for my people out here, remember this: the Redirect Regroup Focus podcast. We have shifted, y'all. Okay, I'm just letting y'all know we have shifted from the mental health check-in, and now we're giving y'all some nonprofit game. I just want to let y'all know that, because for the people that's just coming in and listening, you looking at the title, but we done reached over the time limit. So now we got about like 5-6 more minutes left, and y'all get some nonprofit game. So if y'all want to know how to actually help y'all nonprofit grow, get some funding and all that, reach out to the nonprofit lady. Reach out to this woman right here. Face
that's
blown
right.
up. Boom.
There's a free workbook if you are just curious. You just need to download or want to download. It's at nonprofitunplug.com/workbook, and it walks you through step by step before you apply for the tax exemption. Here are some things you need to do before you get to that step when you're starting, so that way when you start your nonprofit, you literally are smooth sailing from there. So it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, boy, I'm all over the place. I'm in the process of building my team right now, some of which I'll make board members, some I won't. So can somebody advise me? I was talking to someone who used to be an IRS auditor. They're retired. They told me that a lot of these functions I shouldn't touch myself, since I'm the founder, president of the nonprofit. Right. So I'm trying to build a team. I have a treasurer. This treasurer has worked with that IRS auditor for 15 years. So he knows a lot of stuff. And I have a human resources manager and a program coordinator. That's all I have right now. But I don't know. So I'm trying to, I don't like not touching the money though, because it's like, that's my field. I was in the military. I was a supply guy, and we dealt with programs and funding and contracts and stuff like that. But it is what it is. I can't do everything myself.
Facts. Got to build the team, bro. Got to build the team, sir.
Yeah, so I'm building it, man, and I'm really right now not looking for too many board members. I'm looking for 2 more, because you got to put 3 on the paper.
You have to have 3. You have to have 3. Everyone else is extra.
2 of those, I just put them on there just to get the paperwork done.
Yeah.
But so now I'm looking for my real ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got a question.
Yeah.
Now, building these board members. Now, shout out to Tiffany Nicole, the Ingram, because I got this game from her. And
resources,
bruh, Monix, she cold with it, bruh. She cold with it.
We have a virtual work session 2 days a week. Okay.
Dog, I'm trying to tap with her in this Chat GPT. So this is my thing. Can AI be a board member? Because I'm just saying, because they just as smart as a human.
I wouldn't be shocked if somebody finessed it.
Hey,
I just want to throw that out there.
If you give a name and an address, then yeah, I guess so.
Hey, look, AI is gonna be making babies in a couple of years,
bruh. Ain't it? I'm trying to tell you, because I was using Chat GPT, and this bad boy is the smartest thing out here. I don't understand.
Google on steroids.
Google on steroids, bro. I was so scared. I said, "Oh my God, this is a lot of power in my hands right here."
Like, it's not supposed to know this.
It's not supposed to know this. It probably know what
the other type of AI functions. Like, I use a lot of AI almost daily, right? Like I use copy.io or copy.ai and nvidia.io and oh my God, Quillbot, like all of these different functionalities, right? So to make my day productive or my work productive, right?
Nvidia.io.
Nvidia.io. It's an AI. So it's an AI tool that allows you to create YouTube videos in less than 5 minutes. Long form content, reels, short form content.
Kind of like Opus. Well, Opus will generate it for like if you want to.
Bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, similar to
Opus as well.
It'll do your work for you in an hour or less.
Or less, yeah.
That's nuts. Sometimes it gets it wrong, but it gets it good enough.
Yeah.
Like you can dump that link in there, and what would it took you 8 hours? It's done in 20 minutes, man, or 30 minutes.
Yo, people, the only original content that people edit now is literally on everything that's on TikTok or Instagram that just requires you to go through the editing process through their program. But when you look at all this, ain't nobody editing no reels like that, man. Informational reels.
60 seconds. You don't got to edit nothing under 60 seconds. You just jam it in there.
Ain't it, bro? Ain't it?
And you know they didn't edit because you could see them go and turn their phone off at the end. So
exactly. Exactly, bro. Like real talk. Okay, game for people right now. Go ahead, go to Opus Clip. Now, Opus, you ain't paying me nothing either, but I'm gonna put you out there. Opus, go ahead, go on. Oh, you on there now? See, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put this YouTube link right in that bad boy, have it spit something out, and this is gonna be my content for the week. Boom. That's free game, people. We got a couple listeners right now. Y'all caught it. I'm glad y'all caught it because other people missed it. They got to watch it again to get it.
This is so cool.
Listen, Miss Nonprofit First Lady.
Yes.
I'm gonna need to take you and Pastor to dinner or something because I need the game on this.
Ray, we're available whenever you are, sir. You just
know what I mean.
You say the word.
There it is. All right, y'all. Look, now we've been on here for like 45 minutes. So this what I'm gonna do. I want y'all to kind of give just something to say to the audience. You know what I mean? Little words of inspiration. You know, I kind of found out when I have guests, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? But I got some people on here, you know, y'all got some knowledge and y'all need to let people know something. So, Monis, we're going to start with you. Boom. Last words for the people. What you got, sir? Yeah, I put you on the spot. I did it.
Don't be weary of well doing. No,
that's good.
Hey man, I'll go with the theme of the show. The theme was mental health check-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of your mental health. Here's a way to do it. Not the way, but here's a way to help with that.
Okay.
You got to have a standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say you stand for something to fall for anything. Have a standard and set your precedent and keep your standards. What we call it in my culture, stand on your square.
Facts.
Right? Because if you don't, you get drugged all over the place.
Facts.
So you keep your standard and you don't let nobody move you off your square until God's timing. And that way, people always know what you're about and you don't have to compromise yourself. Because one thing I know is that you'll always find your tribe.
Facts. I agree.
So you keep your standard so you don't have to worry about lying to people because you're honest up front. You don't have to worry about not being around certain people because you're okay with self-preserving.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The first rule of nature is peace. It's finding peace and following that peace. Some people call it, paraphrase it by saying self-preservation.
Okay.
If any of that makes sense.
Hey, it do, sir. I know somebody caught it out there. Somebody caught it. All right, girl, what you got?
I just want to say, because I've been hearing about this a lot from just a lot of different people in conversation, and I guess my encouraging word, my final thoughts would just be to stop downplaying the gift that God gave you to pacify or appease someone else's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
You at the end of the day, if God has told you to do something, you're still going to be held accountable on whether or not you do it anyway, whether you do it or not. God gave you the assignment. He didn't make it a conference call for everybody else to have their opinion about it. It's what he gave you to do. And so go forward in confidence. Even if you don't know what you think you're doing, go forward in confidence and knowing what you heard from the Lord, right? And don't worry about other people's thoughts, feelings, and opinions, because that's just pure distractions. That's how the enemy like to bait, right? And keep you stuck. And we ain't got time to be stuck because we're a little too old.
Look at my niece. Okay.
I know she's like me in the camera somehow. So so don't get caught up in that's irrelevant things. Like other people's thoughts and opinions is irrelevant. Stay the course, and that just to piggyback off of what Monik said.
Okay. All right. I guess my words are gonna be: look at people. You always want to focus on inward growth for outward change. You know what I mean? You always want to strive to be better. You don't want to go back. And I know sometimes that road, when you are looking back, might look better, because it only seems better because you're going through something that you have to work through. Nobody likes change. Change is a very difficult thing. I get on here every week and I say change is one of the hardest things for us to do. But what change brings about, it brings about growth. It brings about some form of positivity that you might not know or see at that moment, but it's inside of you. So what I challenge each and every one of you to do, and all my listeners that are here, and the ones that are going to catch this afterwards, go ahead and do not be afraid to embrace change. I don't care how bleak it looks. I don't care how, if you don't know the path, you're not supposed to know the path anyway. That's what faith is. That's why they say faith without works is dead. You have to put in some type of work and believe in something that you can't see in order to reach a goal. So that is what I challenge you all to do. And I just want to thank my man, Medium Minus, for coming on, because this was last minute, y'all. I literally was on the phone with this man, and I said, hey, dog, you want to come on? He said, what time is it? 5 o'clock? I said, what's up? He said, I'm in. There we go. That's all we needed. And I want to thank Shakira as well, because, girl, you know, you was on here before. You know, we dabble in a lot of different stuff together. You helping me on a thing we got going, and I have to talk to you about that tonight, too. Got to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
and, you know,
no problem.
Yeah, she's just a big help, yo. And y'all check out. I'm gonna give y'all one more time to go ahead and shout out real quick what y'all got going on, because I know Minus, you got a lot going on. The viewers need to listen to it real quick. They need to know what you're a part of, and I'll give Shakira her last shout out. Then we out.
All right. So Shop Talk 7 Monday through Friday, 7 to 9. Co-host myself and D Smith. Period. My bad, D Smith, not the whole Facebook joint. But I'm not on there Tuesdays because I'm on 102.3 Rejoice from for 30 minutes from 8 to 8:30. Then I'm on Soul 106 on the Ownership Club from 9 to 11. 102.3 is Aspire, 106.3 is Ownership Club. I'm trying to build my nonprofit Mono House charities. You know, our mission is to really, for the youth, for everybody, but especially the youth, we want to, you know, support them with resources, education, exposure, and experience.
Okay,
that's the goal right now with that. You know, that's about it. And hopefully I'll be able to find some time to get some game from the nonprofit. What is it called again?
Nonprofit Unplugged.
Nonprofit Unplugged.
Yes. So
into that podcast more.
Yes. Definitely. So I'm the host of Nonprofit Unplugged. That's on all podcast directories or wherever you listen to your podcast or consume your podcast. If you want to follow me personally, because I do a lot of other consulting, not just, you know, nonprofits, and I do grant writing or grant funding consulting, tapping a little bit into counseling, Christian counseling. And I do have my own nonprofit, Connecting Youth Achievement Center. And here next year, August 2024, we're going to be opening up a school here in Northwest Indiana. So I've been working with some investors to get that up and running. So you can definitely find me on LinkedIn and Facebook at my name, Shakira Relaford.
Okay. There it is. And I'm your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you live as always, but just in podcast form now. And remember, y'all, redirect, regroup, refocus. And I love y'all, and peace out. Thank you for listening and tuning into the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love y'all. Peace out.